All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy February 9th. Coming to you live, coming to you well, coming to you excited. Coming to you guys going through some stuff as a family. Like I said, we're all human beings. We all have some type of trauma, drama, loss, something that is really impacting our life. And we are no different. I am a human being and having grandma in the hospital, seeing my wife so sad, like not knowing if grandma's going to make it. It's been a really, really tough time. But at the end of the day, we lean inward to each other and say, let's be each other's strength. And so I just want to say a message to anybody on the screen that is going through something. I'm here for you. And if you ever need anything, if you just need a phone call, just need to pick me up, you need to grab some lunch, grab some food, grab some coffee, I just want to let you know that you have a friend in me. Business aside, you have a friend in me, because we just all need somebody sometimes. We just need somebody that's going to be there and just be a voice. And if I can be a voice for any of you guys, please let me know. It's the least that I can do. And so we're going to go ahead and get rolling. But before we do, how was the Super Bowl, you guys?
Oh, I loved it. I was shaking my booty.
Okay. All right. I couldn't stand the halftime show. Yes, I said it. Okay, I said it. From a music, listen, I'm basing my opinion, which is my opinion. I'm basing my opinion solely off of musicality. From a musicality standpoint, clarity of the voice, just the sound of it, I didn't like it. My favorite part of the whole entire musical part of yesterday's Super Bowl performance was Lady Gaga's appearance.
I knew you were going to say that. He mumbles. That's his thing, unfortunately.
He mumbles. Well, I love music. And here he is mumbling through things. And I got like the cultural side of it and like the unity side. I got that message. Okay. I thought that was cool. But from a musicality standpoint, I gave it a 2 or 3. But I'm just saying it. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. But that's all I have to say about that, my friends. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the game, which was relatively boring. I did fall asleep. My wife caught me like this. Got a cool video of that. Nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and get rolling. Oaf McGoaf, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to have you take us out on the field on this amazing, beautiful Monday morning. So are you saying that mumbling's a thing? That's live performances? That's what he does?
Yeah, I've never liked him, to be honest with you, until last year when he came out with his salsa album, because I love salsa and merengue. And then I just really got sucked into that whole thing. I honestly couldn't stand him because he mumbles. I was like, oh God, grow up. Anyways, so I'm still trying to like come back from yesterday. Today's message, I would say, is really proximity and staying connected in these circles, because you really think you may know it all. No, I don't think a lot of people know that, but just being in rooms, you pick up little things. It could be just one little tweak and it will send you a whole different direction. And so being in these rooms, being physically in those rooms is a whole different level. And if you want to scale, that's what you should be doing.
All right, for you, my friend, what was that one thing for you? You were there in Aspen for 3 days of masterminding and being in some really powerful rooms and powerful conversations. What was the thing for you?
I'll be very transparent and vulnerable. There was a moment where I sat there and I'm like, what am I doing here? These people are so elite, like just their portfolio and the way they were talking and the way they were saying things. And then I thought about it. I was like, I'm supposed to be here or else I wouldn't be here. Like, that's the energy that I'm bringing. Is like, if I had any place to be at, I could have been, but I was there. And I was learning and absorbing. I really enjoyed Anna Powell because she's like my buddy now and we're roommates. And I loved her presentation on less is more. Stop being a hero. There's context to it too. And my biggest takeaway was like, you need to deal with all of your crap inside of you so you can really perform. Because if you're drudging so much baggage, it affects your relationships, right? I've always seen it as affecting your personal relationships, but your business relationships, how you show up. I mean, it's all up here too. So there are times I can't even get out of the bed. I'll go show a client something. I can pop up like, oh, how are you and everything, but I'm so drained. I don't want to be that. I want to naturally, organically be that and stay that way. But until you deal with all of that baggage, you don't perform, you don't really pour out of an empty cup. So
Wow. Really good stuff, Ophi. And I appreciate you being in that room. And you have every right to be in that room. Your growth, personally and professionally, over the last 5 years has been incredible to watch. And I don't know about you, more for everyone else on the screen, but for me, you've been an inspiration. I mean, you continue to inspire people from your stories, from your story, what you do on social, how you show up, how you create a space of vulnerability. My friend, you deserve to be in every single room. But here's the point, too. It's like, each of us should be in rooms that are pushing us. We should be looking around the rooms that we're in and saying, you know what, this room is going to push me. It's going to elevate me. I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to make sure that I'm putting myself in a position to see the people that are my peers to say, wow, look at what you've created. You are X amount of years younger than me and you're a multimillionaire, right? That's inspiring to me. And it's not like, hey, how did you do it? Or excuse me, it's not like I'm looking to that person for comparison. I'm saying, hey, what did you have to sacrifice in order to have what you have right now? Tell me the things that you've done so I can, remove some friction, some guesswork. And so I'm always looking at, wow, like how can I make a connection to help me get closer to my financial goals, my vision for my life and my dreams. And so, Oaf Dog, you deserve to be in that room. I was great. And next time I pay for lunch, please do not send me a Venmo. That's on a side point. Anyways, I'm going to just pay for lunch. Okay. All right, guys, let's get rolling. Thank you for being here. I have a message for everybody. And I was reminded this morning at 6 a.m. during our intensity call. And if anyone was on that call, feel free to chime in. And when we watched Renee Rodriguez speak last week, if you've never seen who Renee Rodriguez is, look him up, buy his book, Amplify Your Influence. Really, really powerful book about neuroscience, about energy and how we're showing up on stage, energy, all kinds of different things. I don't have the time to go into that. However, he did say something that my buddy Lindsay brought up earlier, and I thought it was powerful. And she said it, he said it. He said that light travels faster than sound. And what he was talking about light, what he was talking about our energy and how we carry ourselves, right? Like that energy when you go into an appointment, that energy that you carry when you're on a phone, when in Kelly Helker's case, knocking on doors, the energy that you're putting off on social media. As soon as somebody sees you from across the room, have you shrunk in that moment because you don't feel bold, because you feel scared? Or are you putting off an energy and a light that says something so much louder than any word that you were about to utter? And so I thought it was powerful. Light travels faster than sound. It is applicable to all things that we do. You guys are a light. You guys are an energy. You are a force. And like I've been saying, don't allow anything to make you shrink in those moments. Do not allow anything to let you shrink in that moment. Be powerful. Be bold, go out there and show people your amazing energy, because each of you have it, and that is your calling card, and that is your superpower. So before we get started, you guys, we're going to get 3 people to share a personal win, professional win from this last week. We're going to go around the room. We're going to do rapid fire. We're going to go, TT, you're up first, and then we're going to go to, I haven't decided who's going to be next. So TT, you're up first. Personal win, professional win, and I loved your caricature. Yeah, I guess that's what it's called, of you and the boys. I thought it was really cool.
Oh, thank you. I loved it too. Thank you. I loved everyone's, actually. I love how we're able to make a caricature out of what ChatGPT knows about us. And to me, it hit home with me. So anyhow, let's see, professional win. I volunteer for our market meeting / broker tour. And Diana Novella was there with her husband, and I met her husband for the first time. And as we were chatting, we're just like, oh my God, we already know each other through a phone call. And I'm trying to get my buyer to tour this new construction, and it happens to be with her husband. So it built a deeper relationship because we were in person at the market meeting, and we already knew each other over the phone, but now we know each other in person. And I feel like our connection is even deeper, and we can help my buyer on a whole new level. So we have an appointment to tour their property tomorrow, and we already act like friends. So I believe it's going to just take this escrow to the next level, in my opinion. So that's a huge win for me. I think meeting people in person, other realtors, I don't know, everybody in the industry really builds a deeper connection when you meet them in person.
Beautiful.
Personal win. Let's see. You know what? I think this is a personal win, being that I'm able to work remote. My little one is sick at home, and I can still continue to work while cuddling with him between meetings today. So to me, that's a huge win, because if I had a job that I had to physically show up to, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Mm. Yeah, that's definitely a benefit that I'm very, very grateful for. Silas is sick too right now. And like just to be able to be here, hey dad, can I get a little medicine? Like his whole head is stuffed up and he's, snot rockets. And so I appreciate that sentiment as well, TT. Let's roll. Let's keep rolling. Evelyn Garcia, you are up, my friend. If you have the ability to throw your camera on, be present in this moment. One win from last week, personal as well as professional. Let's start with professional.
A professional win would be that I got an offer accepted in Modesto. And so it's a 15-day close, so things are moving super quickly, and I've been having to go down there a lot, but very much thankful. And then a personal win would be that I had my car in the shop for 2 weeks, and it was the worst 2 weeks of my life being stuck at home. So a personal win would be getting my car back and being out again.
Okay, all right. Well, you need a new mechanic. Why is it taking them so long?
They couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. And so I'm finally back to the gym, back in my routine and breathing fresh air again. So
okay. All right, good. Well, I love it. And listen, if you need help out this way, let us know. There's tons of team members that are close by. I mean, Brandy lives close by, Brianna lives close by, and so there's tons of help and leverage. So
thank you.
All right, let's continue cruising on. Nishant, let me get one personal win, one professional win from this last week, and then we're going to cruise on. Good to see you, Evelyn. Thanks for being here. Let's go, Nishant.
Personal win. So I finished credits for my short film yesterday. I did not watch the game, nothing. I was working on personal things, so I finished that. So that is my personal win. Professional win, and I went to I went to a brunch and I did some networking there. So that is my professional win. Like I distributed my cards, told new people like what I'm doing, where I'm heading in real estate. So that's my professional win.
Okay, good. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Obviously, it's Monday. We always talk about moving the needle on Monday. What is going to get you closer to revenue every single Monday? When you look at your calendar, when you look at your habits, when you look at the things that you're prepared to do. We're not waiting for the business to come to us. We're going to look at our schedule and say, what is the highest and best use of my time? What do I need to do that is income producing activities to move the needle in my business every single week? You guys are entrepreneurs. And quite frankly, if you do not have an escrow, then you're unemployed. Every single one of us that does not have an escrow right now on the books is unemployed. So we have to go out there every single day and find employment. That is the nature of this beast. That is this business. And it's tough people that survive in this business. It's people that have the intestinal fortitude that survive in this business. So let's do a quick temperature check, you guys. We'll go around the room. Anybody can get involved. Let's start with truth and awareness. I'm going to pull my screen up really quick. Boom, bam, we are in. And let me just let that populate on the screen. All right, cool. Let's start here. If your calendar told the truth, what business are you really in right now? And I'm going to pause there for a second. Whether or not you answer that, let that land for you. If your calendar told the truth, what business are you really in right now? Are you a part-timer? Are you in the business of excuses? Are you in the business of distractions? Or are you truly, truly an entrepreneur? When you look at your calendar, it reflects all the things that you should be doing. All the income producing activities, the hours you're working on the business, the time that you're working on your admin. Like, what does your calendar actually say? What is the truth about the business that you're actually in? So I just want to let that one land. Let's go to the next section here. The leverage and priorities. When you think about how you're leveraging your time, your responsibilities, your talents, and then your priorities that are set in this business, I'm going to give you guys one to answer here. If you only work 90 minutes a day, what would you have to do to survive in this game, right? And let's be real. Most people in real estate are not giving this 2 hours a day of concerted effort of actual prospecting, right? We know that if you just did 2 hours, 90 minutes every single day, your business would be in a completely different place. We understand that at a conscious level, but oftentimes I don't even see people committing to that. And so I'm going to ask you guys, does somebody take themselves off of mute, be bold to answer this question? If you only work 90 minutes a day, what would you have to do to survive in this game? Every single person on here knows what to do. You might have a different answer than somebody else. Somebody might be newer. Somebody might be a veteran on this call. Who's going to answer that? And if no one throws their hand up, Oaf Dog, I'm going to go to you, my friend. If you only work 90 minutes a day, what would you have to do to survive in this game? Let's go.
Definitely take care of my sphere. I have a very good sphere of influence, a lot of past clients. So really nurture those clients and really be intentional to make them feel special a certain way. One thing I've learned is to categorize my sphere is to say, okay, repeat business. Who are my star players who continuously either refer multiple purchase with me or sell with me? And I do something quarterly to like touch base with them. How are them? I got this from the expo is to do like hey, I got 2 tickets for this, or I got something, and they just love to engage. So I would be immediately to nurture my sphere. And then on the flip side, if I say I want new business, then just really getting those open houses, where I start asking, if I don't have any listings, let's go, who does EXP? You can go onto EXPCon World or whatever it's called. Ask if, because under the XP umbrella, you can host open houses, even though I'm pretty flexible with others, but there's some brokers that get a little kind of like, no, you can't come over here and whatever. And then follow-up leads that I have in my pipeline that sometimes are, and I say they're supposed to be like purchasing in 6 months to a year. Once again, call them, touch base, nurture videos, and the such.
Good stuff, Ophie. Let's go over to Julia. Julia, same question to you, my friend. If you only work 90 minutes a day in this game, what would you have to do to survive?
Be more diligent about reaching out to my contacts in my sphere, using Follow-Up Boss. Also, to be honest, I'd probably hire a VA and get on it, because there's so many things that I can do that it's going to make me money, and getting tied up on things that is taking up a lot of my time, but I'm just too stubborn to actually just hire a VA to do for some reason, would free up a lot of time so that I can actually just go out and do things that I'm good at, which is like meeting people and talking to people. So if anyone has any recommendations, that's what I need to do.
Okay, so Julia, first and foremost, what was your average cost, or hourly rate last year as a realtor? How much did you get paid? And then you divide that by the amount of hours that you worked in the year or in the month. If we just, kind of drill that down, what is your average amount that you get paid every single hour?
That's a good question that I'd actually have to like calculate.
Okay. All right. So what I want you to do is do the
So
math.
maybe I'll start with doing that.
Okay. So I want you to do the math for me. And typically it should be well over $100 per hour, especially if you're selling, 10 plus homes every single year. Should be well above that. So then you have to ask yourself, then let me look at all of my activities that I'm doing. Well, how much time am I spending creating that flyer? How much time am I doing admin work? And if it is lower and there's somebody else there that is out there that is skilled to do that activity, whether it's the admin work, whether it's the marketing, you have to leverage that stuff. You got to give it to somebody else, like open house signs. Well, I have 40 signs. Okay, cool. I want to put all 40 of them out on a Saturday before an open house. I don't want to do that, but I'm sure my 21-year-old for $150 would do that, right? To give me back time so I'm not all sweaty when I get to my open house. And so I want you to think about your time as being precious, because I would rather you be doing $250 an hour activities and allow the other things be given to somebody that's their specialty, right? That's their specialty. There's stuff that Judith helps me with that if I didn't do it, if I did it, it would take me hours. When I ask Judith to do it, she gets it done and I don't even have to think about it. And then I'm ready to go on to the next thing. She's helped me leverage my time. And if you need a VA, if you need support, let me know. I obviously have some great recommendations for you.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Start leveraging your time in a huge way, my friend, because you're only getting busier. And you're
Wait, look at this.
Hi, baby.
Say hi. This is Snotty Nose McGee right over here.
All right. So it looks
for
like
2 months.
all right. It looks like we all have some sick kids, or some of us have sick kids right now. It's that time of year. So Snotty Nose McGee, thank you for being here. Let's continue cruising on, you guys. All right. So let's go here. So the next question is centered around courage and avoidance. And I want you guys to feel free to answer any of these questions, and let's just go here. The first question is, which lead source are you afraid to lean into and why? And for a lot of you, I know what that is, and I could tell and I could see it's a lot of us, it's social media. But also, I feel that our database needs a little bit of love. Like I said, this year, I want this to be the year of database. I want this to be the year that we're really loving on our people. Every lead has a disposition. Every person that is in a bucket, you understand when you're touching those buckets. The second question is, where are you hiding behind learning instead of executing? And I want to pause on that one a second. You can go to every single mastermind out there, the highest levels of masterminds. You can go to every single event that we have, every single thing that's happening on Fast Forward Movement. You could attend the webinars and Patty Goodspeed's webinar, Truth Behind the Headlines, and all these things. But where are you hiding behind learning instead of executing? You see, oftentimes people say that they want to learn everything and then they're going to go and do. No, just go and do first, and then the confidence is going to come second. And then the third question here is, what action do you know you should take but still haven't taken? And I want somebody bold to answer one, all of those, whoever it is. Go ahead and take yourself off of mute, raise your hand, get involved in the conversation. And I want somebody to start answering these questions, because once somebody gets on the dance floor, others will get on the dance floor as well. Nishant, let's go.
Okay, so I am in this position, like all these three, like I don't know ABCD about the tech we are using, the apps we are using. I'm still learning, right? So, but somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn saying that like they are thinking of selling their house in Tracy. Like, I don't know how to lean into that, like, because I feel like I don't know things right now. I don't know where to put the phone number or things like that. So I need some guidance. Like, I feel like I should be doing this, but I know I'm not even ready to like entertain this kind of idea right now. That's what is going in my head, and it's very frustrating for me right now.
Perfect. Well, first and foremost, give yourself a little bit of grace. You're brand new. But second thing is, I'm going to have you get in contact with a partner agent out in Tracy that can walk you through that process, that can be your right hand throughout that process and help you learn and help you develop your skills as a listing agent. And all I want you to do is I want you to take notes, and I want you to learn and watch their process. Let's go ahead and pass the mic to somebody else. Who else wants to answer one, if not all, of these questions? Which lead source are you afraid to lean into and why? Where are you hiding behind learning instead of executing? And what action do you still know you should take and still haven't? Who's going to take the mic next?
Elias, before I sign off, like I'm in Hayward though.
That's perfect.
Okay.
That's why you need a partner agent in Tracy.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. All right, who's up next, you guys? Don't be shy. Go ahead and grab the mic or throw your hand up. Who's it going to be? Going once, going twice. You guys, it is Monday. Remember where we are. Alexis, you're up next.
Okay, I was thinking about the lead source one. Sometimes I get like calling is fine because if you get hung up on if people yell at you, that's okay. But like door knocking, man, some people are ruthless and they'll like either close the door right in front of your face or they'll just say something completely rude and they'll like throw me off. And then I get a little nervous to knock on the second door. So I think it's just being bold and just say, okay, shake it off. Let's just continue to get back on that horse and continue to knock on doors and give people what they, what they want. Or like, I guess you have that script too, that you gave us. So just practicing on that too and giving them a reason of like why I'm knocking, giving them value as well. So hopefully that will help me. But yeah, sometimes door knocking is like, man, I hate the in your face, what is it called? Rejection sometimes. So
you know what? I'm so glad that you said this. And Alexis, totally part of the game, right? It's okay. And some of us do door knocking, some of us do not. But I just know the power of it because now you're in proximity with a potential seller or potential buyer. But the mentality that we have to have is, first off, we have good news. We have something of value to offer that consumer. Whether it's, do you know that the Andersons just sold their house for $10,000 over asking price? Multiple offers. Did you know that we're having an open house? Did you know I have a new listing? So it's like I think about the knock, just like I do a call and say, how can I make this warm, right? Oftentimes we associate that activity as a cold activity. And people will say that, oh, I hate making cold calls. Oh, I don't like doing door knocking because it feels cold. Well, then make it warm. Like we said earlier in the call, Alexis, you are a light. We're all a light. And the fact that you have this beautiful energy about you, go out there and spread that energy. If you want to have, if someone wants to be negative towards you, then fine, that's on them. You have somebody's life to change and you're one knock away from doing that. And I have an old philosophy. I learned this early on in my sales career. It is SW, SW, SWN, and it's some will, some won't, so what next, right? And that's the feeling I have, right? And that's the feeling I have. Somebody wants to be a jerk, that's on them. They're probably going through something, right? I'm just here to smile and tell you some good news about what's happening in the market around you. And so Kelly Hilker's had a tremendous, success. I could look at Blessing. I could look at, other people on this call. Once you get in the habit of doing it, you're going to get somebody to answer the door and they're going to be so excited to just have a conversation with you. It happens all the time, Alexis. So I appreciate you answering those questions and being reflective with me for a moment. Let's continue cruising on, you guys. So if you're looking at these questions here, and let's go back here, and thank you for the bold people that have raised their hand thus far. When we think about which lead source are you afraid to lean into, whether or not you're answering that call or that question live, I want you to sit with that. Like, which one are you afraid to lean into and why? Now, Alexis was bold enough to answer that here on the call. Where are you hiding hiding behind learning instead of executing? You see, oftentimes people say, I need to know everything about the contract. And I always push against that because I think you need to know everything about human to human connection. I think you need to know about prospecting, overcoming objections, because you can learn everything that there is to know about a contract. But if you're not doing the work to actually get to a contract, then all that knowledge is just done in vain. And then the last one, what action do you still know you should take but haven't? Well, whatever answer you come up with, how will you change this? And how will you change this today? So if you understand that it's I need to stop doing all the masterminds. Well, I need to do the mastermind and then instantly implement something. Like, how do you change that? If you say, well, one of the pillars that I'm still not good on is social media. I remember a time when Laura Franco said, it's hard for me to be on video. Then she did intensity and she's posted 10 stories a day, 3 reels a week and a post on her wall every single week for the last 4 weeks. Right? So she made a change. Why? Because she was in a pressure situation that forced her to create some tension in her business. And then she's already seeing the results. So stay with me. Numbers and reality. And this is where I am going to get you guys to get involved in this conversation. How many real conversations did you have last week? And I'm just going to pause there for a second. Shannon, I'm going to get to you in just a moment. How many real conversations did you have last week? And the only way that you know this is if you tracked it. So I'm going to go to Blessing. Blessing, I'm going to go to you, my friend. I know you're in the car. I saw your lips moving. So how many real conversations did you have last week about people that actually want to talk about selling or buying real estate in our market? Let's go, Blessing. Blessing going once, Blessing going twice. You're muted, my friend, if you're saying anything.
I'm in the car with Brandy. We're on our way, so I'm sorry. We were mid-conversation.
Where are you guys heading to?
We've got a listing appointment in Salinas for a repeat for a past client.
Let's go. All right. So the question was for both of you. Now that I know Brandy's in the car, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you for putting her on the spot. How many real conversations did you have last week with potential consumers and not in an I don't know? I want to know specifics.
Last week, I logged 14 conversations.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
14 conversations.
And then pass the mic to your co-pilot.
I had at least 10.
At least 10. Okay, cool.
At least 10.
And then stay with me really quick, Blessing. What does your pipeline say about your activity 60 days ago? When you look at your current pipeline right now, what's in your pipeline, what you have for projected GCI, what does your pipeline say about your activity 60 days ago to lead up to where you are today?
Full transparency is my pipeline right now is on life support because 60 days ago I was not producing. I wasn't doing any activities. So right now I'm feeling the pain of it. So my current activities really will show up in March and April, and that's all I can do. I can start front loading for the future, but yeah, I'm feeling that pain.
Well, listen, Blessing, I appreciate your transparency, and look at you, suited and booted in your pink, going to Salinas to take a new listing. Hey, that's what it takes, my friend. Brandy, same for you. What does your pipeline say about your activity 60 days ago? Let's roll.
60 days ago, it said I went all in. I became a little more selfish, and my pipeline, I became selfish to feed. So, and that's what my pipeline says about me. We're gonna feast.
Okay. All right. I love this, my friend. I love this. I love that you guys are cruising together. I had no idea that you were partnering on this deal, but how cool. Great energies align always. Last question for somebody, and Nishant, then I'll come right back to you. If your business was audited today, what would fail immediately? What would fail immediately? Would it be a systems breakdown? Would it be an activity breakdown? Would it be a consistency breakdown? Would it be a discipline breakdown? Would it be an operational efficiencies breakdown? What would break today if your business was audited? Let's go to Kristen Leifa. Kia, thank you for being in my Keep It Moving video. I loved your testimonial, my friend. If your business was audited today, if we're just keeping it real and keep it moving on this Monday, what would fail immediately?
First of all, this is my daughter's Zoom that I'm on.
I get it.
I didn't even realize it either. If my systems, if I was being audited today, oh gosh, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I am just like everyone else where I'm struggling with just getting my pipeline together.
Okay.
That's it.
So if the pipeline's not together, what is the root cause of that? Let's walk through this.
Discipline.
Discipline on what?
Making time to ensure that I have cut out time for whether it's updating, inputting, whatever the situation is. I need to carve that time. I know I'm going to own it. I'm going to totally own it. That's
Okay.
my biggest flaw right now.
Okay. So the flaw is not the actual activity. Are you doing the activity first and foremost?
I'm doing the activity. I
Okay.
am doing the activity.
All right.
Yes.
So then you're doing the hardest part, the meeting people, having conversations. But what I'm hearing you say, if I hear you correctly, is you're saying that the way that you're handling those leads once you get them into your world is where you're dropping the ball.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly where if I'm being audited, you guys look at my stuff right now, you're like, what the hell is this girl doing? But I'm doing a lot of stuff. I keep it in, I don't know. I guess it's because I just don't trust, perhaps from where I came from, the brokerage that I came from. I don't want someone to take my stuff and then take it with them. You know what I mean? Like if I leave or what have you. So, that's sort of where I'm at.
All right. Well, you have to trust.
I do.
You have to believe in the people and the organization that you are a part of. All those leads that are self-generated are your leads and will always be your leads. And I want to be clear on that. So, but I also want you to be clear on how human you actually are. If we do not use a system, if we do not use a database, if we do not use a CRM, then the human in us is going to forget. And that's just how business is, right? So I don't want you to forget. I don't want you to miss opportunities. So moving forward, every single person that you meet goes into your database and you set them up on a search if they're a buyer. Now, every single time that buyer looks at it at home, opens an email, or has any type of online activity, you, my friend, get to see that activity. Then you get to respond accordingly based on their behavior. And all we're going to do is focus on that behavior first and foremost. But if we don't put all the people in there, then what we can't see is every single time somebody looks at a house, every single time somebody opens you don't get to see that. So what do? Is we guess. And this is not a game of guesswork. This is precision. So I just want you to trust, first off, the environment that you're in. And two, allow yourself to prospect in a warmer way based off of consumer behavior and patterns. That is the tech that you have. Those are the tools that you have. And that is an advantage. And I promise you, if you can focus your energy there and saying, I did the hardest part of getting someone to give me their information. Now, let me analyze human behavior and human patterns and respond accordingly. Kia, with all your energy and light and love that you have to give to this world, I promise you, you will see things start to turn around in your business. Because you have a tremendous energy, you have tremendous momentum right now. It's going to make it even better. Make sense, my friend?
Yes. And I'm so disappointed that he didn't put my ending on the video. So I'm hoping Patrick does a part 2.
Why don't you ask him to drop the video of just you? Ask him for it.
Yeah.
The video. And I'm down for that. So good stuff. Let's go to Nishant. Nishant, you had your hand up for a moment. Big dog, I don't want to miss you. And thank you, Kia, for being transparent. Let's go, Nishant.
My question is regarding the social media. Like, the feedback I got from one of the person in the group is like, he has a friend who's in real estate and they post too many, like he gets too many he gets bombarded like by real estate, like, hey, this is my house, whatever, like post. So is there a balance we can maintain, or like, do we have to have a separate account? Like, what's
No.
the balance?
So here's the balance, and this is my opinion, but I understand this at a very, very high level. You are not just a realtor. Anytime you want to just post about real estate, I'm going to be real with you guys, that is boring. You are not boring humans. But what we tend to do is like, oh, everyone's going to see my real estate stuff. Well, hold on a second. What about the records you collect? What about the mountains that you hike? What about the kayaking that you do? What about the son that's a pilot? Like, that creates proximity to you as a human being, punctuated by the real estate stuff. So my friend, here's the advice to you and everybody else that will see this in the future. Document your journey. That is it. And during that journey, there's going to be nights where you're making drinks. There's going to be days when you're showing homes. There's going to be trips that you're taking. There's going to be fun things that you're doing. Document the journey. You, my friend, are the content, not the houses, not the 20% down or the Dream for All program. That's not who you are as a person. That's just something that you get to do along the way. Be yourself. I feel my content is eclectic on purpose, right? Document your journey. Okay. Lifestyle, community, your opinion, things that you're doing in your life, the places that you're going to have food, some real estate stuff, but make it like it's your life. Document your life. That stuff sells. I'm about to drop a video in a little bit about my opinion about the Super Bowl. Come at me. Come at me, bro. You don't like it, then cool, tune me out. I don't really care. But commitment and action, that's my advice to you. Let's continue cruising on, you guys. Commitment and action as we look at Monday. Monday is always the time where we spark our week and say, this is what's going to move the needle. So, some questions for you guys. I want you to get very, very reflective with me. What is the one action you will take in the next 24 hours that directly creates income or the potential of income? I'll give you an example. All right. Well, my pipeline is not that full today. Okay. It's not that full this week. I'm going to directly go into the office and I'm going to make 50 calls today. I'm going to make 20 calls. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the office and I'm going to do Elias's philosophy of 4-to-1. For every single call that I make inside of my database, I'm going to call them. If they don't answer, I'm going to text them. If they don't answer that text, I'm going to email them, and shoot, as a last attempt, I'm going to send them a video. And I'm going to go into the office and I'm going to commit to doing that. So what I've created is 80 touch points for 20 people that I'm going to try to contact today. That's a pretty damn good start. It's Monday. All right, I'm looking at my pipe. I don't really have too many active appointments this week. Well, what you can do is go pick a market that you truly want to serve. Let's say it's Berkeley. Let's say it's El Cerrito. Let's call it El Sobrante. Let's call it Hayward, wherever it is. I want you to run your comps from the last 2 weeks. Find that house that closed at well over asking price. Then I want you to look at how many offers were on each of those homes. If there's a house in that market that sold well over asking price, multiple offers, you're going to go congratulate those neighbors. You're going to let them know that the values are up. Did you know that Anderson sold their house for $12,000 over asking price? No. Yeah, and actually had 10 offers on that house. So I'm coming by and I'm asking the neighbors, do they know if anybody is considering a move? Because there's 9 other families heartbroken that they can't live in this community. Do you know anybody that's considering a move? If I did not have an escrow today, I would go and focus on that. It is the quickest way to get your name out there and find opportunities. But will you do that bold action? What are the non-negotiables this week? And what will you cancel to protect them? Does that mean a lunch? Does that mean drinks? Someone asks you for cocktails at 3:30 and you know it's going to mess up the rest of the time that you have to work that day? What are your non-negotiables, right? Do you know how important it is for you to prioritize your health? And so no way, shape, or form are you going to miss your 4 days of working out this week? What is the non-negotiable? What does winning the week actually look like in measurable terms? And when we think about our measurable terms, Go back to your goals for the year. You said you wanted to sell 20 homes. Well, 20 homes times 60, because it takes about 60 conversations to get one person in the contract, gives you your grand total of actual conversations for the year. We'll divide that by 52 weeks. What should you be doing this week for actual conversations that get you closer to your goal? It's very, very simple. So what does winning look like? Winning looks like for me this week, 7 conversations with people who are thinking about buying or selling real estate. That's a win for the week. If you had to report results by next Monday, what would you do differently starting today? Here's what I realized about intensity. Intensity forces people to stick to a calendar, forces them to stick to a priority list. And what happens, those that do see tremendous results in their life, business, health, and relationships. Those that don't teach themselves over and over and over again that they're the person that cannot follow through on commitment. That is not what I want for anybody on this call and anybody that will see this in the future. So I'm going to put this on the screen really quick. Feel free to take a picture of this. Be very clear on what your answers are. And I want you guys to do some reflecting today. Write these down, take a picture of them, remember them, whatever you need to do to get very, very clear on what is going to move the needle in your business this week. I'm going to pause, allow you guys to grab your shots, and then we're going to continue cruising on. Here's what I want you guys to do, is I want you guys to go to the board. All right, go to the board. Every single Monday, we've been saying this for years. I want you to go to the board. And here's what I want you guys to answer. This week, I moved the needle by, and you fill in the blank. This week, I moved the needle by calling 20 people every single day, today until Friday, right? This action I'm committing to daily is clearing out all the tasks in my CRM, making sure that I'm making X amount of door knocking attempts every single day. If I don't do this, I'm choosing instead. I'm choosing inconsistency. I'm choosing lack of discipline. I'm choosing another industry that will welcome me wholeheartedly because they don't have strict requirements on success like real estate does. If I don't choose this, if I don't do this, I'm choosing mediocrity. I'm choosing a life of lower standards than I held for myself. Like whatever that is, you guys, I want you to be clear on those things. So you are going to move the needle. You're going to be very clear on what that is. If you need help, if you need a checkup from the neck up, if you need to have a conversation with me, please let me know. I'm here for you. But if you get on a call with me, here's what I will not accept from you in any way, shape, or form. I will not accept distractions, excuses, stories, bullshit, none of that. You come with clarity. You have a problem. Let's identify it. Let's discuss it, and then let's solve it. That's it. We forge a path ahead. We don't sit in all the things that it could have been and should have been. If you need additional help, my calendar is open to every single person on this call. I'm here to help. Well, when you come on that call with me, you come correct, because I will not hear your stories and your excuses, because I love you enough to see the big picture for your life and for your business. So we're going to pause there, you guys. We're going to go around the room, get a couple key thoughts, get a couple key takeaways from our people on the call today. I'm going to go to Sre. I'll go back over to Jennifer, and then we'll keep working the room. So let's go Sre. What do you have for us, my friend? Key thoughts, key takeaways. Once again, my heart goes out to you. My condolences to you and to your family. She lost her uncle. She lost her dog last week. So it's been a tough week for my friend. So what do you have for us? Key thoughts and key takeaways.
Thank you, Elias. There were a lot of key takeaways. But what I wrote down earlier was, the quote from I forget the name of the book you mentioned earlier, but light travel faster than sound, and how our energy is, I'm connecting it with me focusing on calling my leads. I feel like I need to improve on that for sure. I do a better job in person than I do on the phone, because I feel like I can feel their energy, so I'm able to communicate better with them. But when I'm on the phone, that's where I struggle. I'm like, so that's something that I want to improve on moving forward.
So my friend, everything that we do in this business is rhythmic. right? And what we do in this business is a series of great presentations. The fact that you can flow very well with somebody face to face, that is a rhythm, that is a presentation. But what is the same thing over the phone? The only way that you're going to practice that and get better at it is books like this, know exactly what to say, Phil Jones. Because what I want you to do is I want you to have variables. And what I mean is that when somebody gives you an objection or resistance, or they give you pushback, what we do when we're not practiced and we're not skilled at this, what we do is we retreat and we say, okay, all right, let me know. When we're skilled and we're practiced at this and we look at all the variables, and anytime someone says something, we pause, we reflect, and then we go in with a really, really powerful rebuttal. That takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of patience. And this is after years and years of doing this, my friend. So if that's something that you feel that you want to get better on, then hit the phones, right? Just hit the phones. And listen, you're going to be shoes in a dryer. It's going to be clunky. You're going to fumble over all your words. And then what you'll find is you'll start to find a rhythm. You'll just start to find a rhythm. You dance, right? You do Cambodian dancing. Early on when you did Cambodian dancing, it was really hard to figure it out and how you hold your hands and everything, correct? And now, is there some fluidity in it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And how long do you think it took you to create that fluidity?
Oh, months, like over 6 to 8 months into a year.
It's
Yeah.
just it's the same thing, but it's like, here's what I want you to think about. And I love this analogy and these thoughts, especially from people that are athletes, people that came from or dancers, right? Your mind can already go there. And the part of your mind is your growth map, right? When you first decided to dance, what happened? First off, you made a decision. What came after that decision? Well, practice came after that decision. Well, what happened after the practice? Implementation. Well, what happened after you implemented? You analyzed. And you analyzed and said, where can I get better? Where can I improve? Where are the little small nuances that I can make the dance a little bit smoother and rhythmic? I was offbeat here. I was offbeat there. I was on beat there. So if you've done it somewhere else in your life, which we all have, academically, professionally, in our careers, we've done that. We've had a growth map. We take that same principle into a growth map, into you making calls and find your rhythm, my friend. You're going to be dancing in no time on the phone. You're going to be dancing in no time on the phone. So hopefully that lands and makes sense for you. I appreciate you, my friend. Let's continue cruising on. Let's go over to Blessing. Blessing, key thought, key takeaway, since I get 2 for 1 on this one. I can only imagine
Promise we're here.
I can only imagine the conversations that are happening on this.
Okay, so we are having a single mom conference. And the key takeaway from the conversation is really looking at the type of business that we're running. And I know this is running parallel to the coaching conversation, but what type of business are you running and are you proud of it? And period. Like, is it what you really want? Is it the standards that are going to support your life? Are you wasting time? Are you chasing? Or are you running a business with intention? So I don't know what point in the call that pivot that came up for us, but it's been like 20 minutes and I'm loving it. So that's where we are.
Well, I appreciate it. Brandy, how about for you, my friend? Key thoughts, key takeaways from our time together today.
I mean, same. Like, yeah. I mean, Blessing pretty much wrapped up our entire conversation right there in like a sentence. So, I mean,
well, it's hard to follow something poetic like that. So I appreciate you guys. Drive safe. Let's go over to Dee Bledsoe, and then I'm gonna have Ilana take us off the field with her key thought and key takeaway. Let's go, Dee Bledsoe. Give me one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll, big dog.
Your goals don't care about your excuses. You gotta keep pushing on. Like in full transparency, I'm in another lull in business, but I've been here before and I know what to do. It's just you keep working, you keep going at it, you keep working until it works, and the shit will work out. It's pretty simple.
That's right, big dog. Well, I appreciate you, my friend. If you need anything, let me know. I'm actually going to shift the conversation over to TT. Ilana does not have a voice today. She's been getting over a sickness. So TT, give me a key thought, key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll.
Yeah, thanks for calling on me. I was thinking about this. With my biggest key takeaway is I'm starting to focus on door knocking because that's my jam and I absolutely love it. And I appreciate you giving us an example on what to talk about. And while we were here, I was pulling up the recently solds in my neighborhood because recently a home went for sale right across my walkway. I live in a townhome. And I was just like, oh my God, I didn't get the listing. So my job is to go and make friends with all my neighbors. And I'm going to talk about the recent sales. I'm going to talk about an open house that I just hosted and how packed it was. So
pull up, do me a favor, share your screen, pull up these comps really quick.
No, I don't want to share the screen. I already took it down.
All right, well then, I won't show everybody.
Disclosures for a property I'm going to sell. A property I'm showing soon. So anyway, no, I pulled up comps and I was just thinking about some of the talking points because we have a lot of single family homes and a lot of townhomes. And I bought my townhome 3 years ago and the prices has changed a lot. So I'm really going to talk about that, how I'm your neighbor, how I'm always watching the market and not necessarily selling myself so much. Shout out to Mara for giving me a template on a flyer to make. I put myself, my picture on there, but I also put my kids and my dog because I walk my dog around the neighborhood a lot. And people recognize me as, let's be real, one of the only Black girls that live in this neighborhood. So I'm sure they're going to recognize me and my dog and my kid from walking around.
Okay. All right. Well, I absolutely love this. I love where your head's at. Listen, you guys, if we don't have business right now, and then obviously some of you have multiple escrows, some of you are, at a really good position. And if you don't, or if you just want to put a little extra on that, find those neighborhoods that are producing at a very, very high level. In your MLS, you can add the field number of offers. And if you don't have that field, then actually get on the phones and do some recon first. Like, hey, Tom, I'm thinking about putting a house on the market, or I have active buyers in that area. How many offers did you get on that property? And they'll tell you, especially if they're already closed, get that recon. And if you find that house that sold well over asking, had multiple offers, I am doing a radius and I'm knocking on those doors. I'm congratulating those neighbors that the values went up and letting them know that there's 7 other, 10 other, 9 other families that are heartbroken that they can't live here. So I'm just asking the neighbors, do you know anybody that's considering a move? So once again, I took that off of them and I said, do you know anybody else? And then naturally I'm getting in a conversation. Here's my information if you ever know anybody. And subtly on that flyer is also a home valuation. Why wouldn't you want to talk to me in the future? So you got so many ways to go about this, but I really appreciate your thoughts, your contributions, and your dialogue today. Listen, if you are a team member, tomorrow, where are you going to be at 11 a.m.?
At the office,
Oakland.
Okay. For what, Ophelia?
For a sales team meeting. Oh, no, our annual review, excuse me.
All right. Our annual year in review meeting, you guys. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some food. We're going to have some branding. We're going to have swag. It's just going to be one of those great days for us to celebrate you as amazing people in our environment. And so make sure that you are there. Get your babysitters, get your outfits, do everything that you need to do. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. Also, I have some really cool things planned for us to kind of break up the monotony of the actual presentation. We're going to have different stations to put health goals and marketing goals and all these different things. So come tomorrow. Let's have some fun. If you need anything in the meantime, feel free to give me a call. Thank you to our guests for being here. Ilana, hopefully you feel better and you get your voice back, and you look good though. Okay, you look good. So even though you're not feeling good. But you guys, that's all I got for you. Remember, Monday is always about moving the needle. Be very, very clear on what your calendar looks like. Do you have activities that are planned for this week that are actually going to get you closer to revenue, or are you disorganized and you don't have a flow for the week? That is not a true entrepreneur. That is not a CEO. Run your business like a true CEO. If you need any support, any help, let me know. And as always, my friends, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make today a day that truly matters. Peace and love, my friends.